September. We're going to be trading September 25th. No news during London, and unemployment claims on the dollar later in the morning. Dollar, we're bullish now. I was bearish because I was expecting price action to follow the interest rate cuts, but obviously we have not been doing that, and we have displaced through these bearish PD arrays, daily PD arrays, and we've been shifting bullish, so just going to continue writing that. This is my new draw on liquidity here. I feel like the reason why we haven't been following the bearish sentiment of rate cuts is because we've already taken a massive sell side liquidity pool, and leading up to the rate cut, right, we've already been bearish. I was talking to some friends and, other people that are also trading in ChatGPT and just looking around, and a lot of people say that when this happens, it's just because it's already priced in leading up to the fact, right? And I think that's like the situation here is leading up to interest rates cuts, we've already priced in the expectation of bearish dollar, right? I'm thinking, external range liquidity taken here and internal range here. Maybe even this high gets taken, right? But I don't want to overdo it. So this is my potential higher time frame, right? And for closer term drawn liquidity, I'm looking at this high. I was kind of kicking myself in the butt because I should have taken this trade yesterday. Where is it? So right here we have this for our redelivered rebalance. And leading into London, we've already tapped into it and started displacing higher, right? And this scenario was Asia displacement, right? So I would have looked for an OTE. But I feel like when it's a situation like this, if there's good displacement, right? Like a second leg, like here, we have displacement, 15-minute, boom. And then even more displacement. And then I think it was a 30-minute entry here. No. I don't know, I was kind of kicking myself in the butt because I feel like I should have caught this, but at the end of the day, didn't really follow my plan, right? This isn't part of my plan, so this is fine letting that go. At the same time, it kind of is my plan because we came from this 4-hour array. Like, I think I need to put more emphasis on the stages rather than the scenarios, right? So like this scenario is Asia displacement range, right? But the scenario was Asia displacement range, and the stage was this 4-hour redelivered rebalance, right? But I also could just be hypercritical of myself because I took this trade on the wrong account, so just gonna move on. For today though, like I said, we are bullish dollar. We did come back up to these highs. Monday took previous week's highs, so I'm not expecting a crazy reaction like I usually do off of a previous week's or previous high or low. We do have this daily fair value gap that we could tap into again, right? And I believe already hit, no. So yeah, here with, speaking of stage and scenario, right? We have this 4-hour this 4-hour fair value gap. And then for the scenario, basically just Asia consolidation, like nothing really crazy. All Asia did was tap into this and then push higher, react off of it. So I'm just looking for an entry of any kind, honestly. We have this 30-minute, right? So I could enter off of that, looking like it's gonna just take Asia's highs here and then have somewhat of a retracement. But I could also just OTE this. So I'm gonna kind of watch it and wait for what looks like a high being put in, and then I'll decide where I want to enter. I probably will end up favoring entering off of this 30-minute because I feel like this is very likely. And on top of that, I feel like since we're in a brand new, let me check Euro. Since we're in a brand new 4-hour candle on Euro, it could come back and tap this 4-hour fair value gap, just like the dollar's 4-hour fair value gap. So, yeah, I would like to just get an OTE entry, honestly, but we'll see what ends up happening. All right, so we are entered. This is what I was looking for. I was just messing around on the different time frames. That's why there's 16-minute. I'll show you what I was looking at for the 17th minute. Look at this. Boom. That's what I was looking at. Lines up with the 1 hour, so this is kind of expecting it to hold. But yeah, that 30-minute for value gap. I'm just gonna get rid of this so it's cleaner. Pretty chill. We'll see how it goes. I don't like how this 4-hour candle is looking as it is. So I definitely want to see like sort of a speed reaction like off of this, because we still have a little over 40 minutes left in that 4-hour candle on the dollar. And in this 4-hour candle, we are a little over 15 minutes into it, and we are retesting the 4-hour for value gap. Looks like we completely filled in this 1-hour potential for value gap, tapped into this 30-minute and that 17-minute breaker, also 15-minute breaker, honestly. But yeah. So I think I want to start adding this little segment into the middle of my trades. Is like, as I'm in the middle of the trade, I kind of want to just say how I'm feeling. Even though we've wicked pretty close to my stop loss, right, and we haven't had like crazy displacement lower, I'm still pretty confident in this trade. Like, I think this trade will hit. I don't see why it wouldn't hit within the London either. Like, I feel like this should be, like, I should be out of this trade and hit by TP, or at least to, you know, these other lows right here by the end of London. So maybe a little outside of it, but yeah, I'm feeling good about this trade. I think it'll hit. Alright, so price has pushed down a decent bit. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove this take profit, add this to this low right here. So I'll take one contract off there, and then I'll add the rest here. I can't see it either, except for on the prices, but my stop loss is at break even. I'm pretty confident that price won't come back to the entry before it ends up taking these lows, right? But yeah, I mean, if you look at the 4-hour, we've wicked this 4-hour for value gap, right? And we have just a sliver over 2 hours left in the 4-hour candle, and it's clearly bearish. Dollar has not taken its correlated highs, and the pound has not taken its correlated lows. So yeah, I said I'm pretty confident that it will end up taking these lows, but I just want to have somewhat. Wait, let me go to, here we go. Actually, just gonna move this to that wick, so it'll be at 1 3/4. But yeah, see what happens. Alright, this is the next day. So obviously the daily candle did go in our direction, but it did take out Asia's highs right before. So I was looking at it, and British pound actually would have been the play here, which is kind of weird. Well, actually, no, it's not weird. I didn't notice that before because I didn't really look at Euro GBP. I've just been trading Euro. But yeah, you can see here, obviously, price is just going up on the daily for Euro GBP. And if you look at the 4-hour, you can see that we have obviously strong displacement at the end of London. But I mean, like, looking at right here, the 4-hour candle going into London, I feel like it was fair to see this as bearish because we have these relatively equal lows here, and we would take internal range liquidity before targeting external range, but apparently we just took external range first. And honestly, since the drawn liquidity is so close, we might not even come back down for these lows. We might just run to these highs on Euro GBP. But anyways, Euro GBP was looking like Euro was the favor. Euro was favored. But if you look at the charts, we have SMT, right? With GBP being the one to take Asia's highs and then breaking down lower and then eventually going and running, right? But, I mean, obviously my trade that I took on the Euro was still valid. I just didn't take profit. Like, I still can't believe I didn't do that. But yeah, that won't happen again. And, yeah, overall, pretty happy with the outcome, obviously, besides the fact of me not taking profit. But still, yeah.